Tagore poems. Wow, continued lotus. On the day when the lotus bloomed, alas, my mind was straying and I knew it not. My basket was empty and the flower remained unheeded. Only now and again a sadness fell upon me and I started up from my dream and felt a sweet trace of the strange fragrance in the south wind. That vague sweetness made my heart ache with longing, and it seemed to me that it was the eager breath of the summer seeking for its completion. I knew not then that it was so near, that it was mine, and that this perfect sweetness had blossomed into the depth of my own heart. Sleep. In the night of weariness, let me give myself to sleep without struggle, resting my trust upon thee. Let me not force my flagging spirit in the poor preparation for thy worship. It is thou who draws the wheel of night upon the tired eyes of the day to renew its sight in a fresher and gladness of awakening. Who is this? I came out alone on my way to my tryst, but who is this that follows me in the silent dark? I move aside to avoid his presence, but I escape him not. He makes the dust rise from the earth with his swagger. He adds his loud voice to every word that I utter. He is my little self, my Lord. He knows no shame, but I'm ashamed to come to thy door in his company. Little of me. Let only that little of me be left, whereby I may name thee my all. Only that little be left of my will, whereby I may feel thee on every side and come to thee in everything and offer to thee my love every moment. Only that little be left of me, whereby I may never hide thee. Let only that little of my fetters be left, whereby I am bound with thy will, and thy purpose is carried out in my life, and that is the fetter of thy love. Close path. I thought that my voyage had come to its end at the last limit of my power, that the path before me was closed, that provisions were exhausted, and the time come to take shelter in the silent obscurity, but I find that thy will knows no end in me. And when old words die out on the tongue, new melodies break forth from the heart, and where the old tribes are lost, new countries revealed with its wonders, beggarly heart. When the heart's heart and past shall come upon me with a shower of mercy, when grace is lost from life, come with a burst of the song, when tumult's work raises its din on all sides, shutting me out from beyond, come to me, O Lord of silence, with thy peace and rest, when my beggarly heart sits crouched, shut up in a corner, and break upon that door, my king, and come with the ceremony of the king, when desire blinds the mind with delusion and dust, O thou holy one, thou wakeful, come with thy light and thy thunder. Silent steps. Have you not heard his silent steps? He comes, ever comes, every moment and every age, every day, every night. He comes, ever comes. Many a song have I sung and many a mood I've mine, but all their notes have always proclaimed, comes, ever comes. In the fragrant days of the sunny April, through the forest path, he comes, ever comes. In the rainy gloom of the July night, on the thundering chariot of clouds, he comes, ever comes. In sorrow after sorrow, it is in his steps that press upon my heart, and it is the golden touch of his feet that makes joy to shine. Leave this. Leave this chanting and singing and telling of beads. Whom dost thou worship in this lonely dark corner in the temple with doors all shut? Open thine eyes and see that God is not before thee. It is there where the tiller is tilling the hard ground, and where the path maker is breaking stones. He is with them in the sun and shower, and his garment is covered with dust. Put off thy holy mantle, and even like him come down on the dusty soil. Sit smiling. I boasted among men that I had known you. They see your pictures in all works of mine. They come and ask me, who's he? I know not how to answer them. I said, indeed, I cannot tell. They blame me, and they go away in scorn. And you sit there smiling. I put my tales of you in the lasting songs. The secret gushes out from my heart. They come and ask me, tell me all your meanings. I know not how to answer them. I say, who knows what they mean? They smile and go away in utter scorn, and you sit there smiling. Ocean of forms. I dive down into the depths of the ocean of forms, hoping to gain the perfect pearl of the formless. No more sailing from harbor to harbor with this my weather-beaten boat. The days are long past when my sport was to be tossed on waves, and now I'm eager to dive into the deathless, into the audience hall by the fathomless abyss. Where swells up the music of the toneless strings, I shall take the sharp harp of my life. I will tune it to the notes of forever, and when it has sobbed Out his last utterance lay down in my silent harp at the beat of the silent vain and why. Tagore poetry for students and children. When I bring you colored toys, my child, I understand why there is such a play of colors on clouds, on water, and why flowers are painted in tints. When I give colored toys to you, my child. When I sing to make you dance, I truly know why there is music in leaves and why waves send their chorus of voice to the heart of the listening earth. When I sing to make you dance, when I sing sweet things to your greedy hands, I know why there is honey in the cup of the flower and why fruits are secretly filled with the sweet juice. When I bring sweet things to your greedy hands, when I kiss your face to make you smile, my darling, I surely understand why pleasure streams from the sky in the morning light and what delight the summer breezes brings to my body. When I kiss you to make you smile on the seashore. On the seashore of the endless world's children meet. The infinite sky is motionless overhead and the restless water is boisterous. On the seashore of the endless worlds, the children meet with shouts and dances. They build their houses with sand, they play. With empty shells, with withered leaves, they weave their boats and smilingly float them on the vast deep. Children have their play on the seashore of worlds. They know not how to swim, they know not how to cast nets. Pearl fishes dive for the pearls merchants sell in their ships, while children gather pebbles and scatter them again. They seek not for hidden treasure, they know not how to cast nets. The sea surges up with laughter and pale glimpses, smile of the sea beach. Death-dealing waves sing meaningless ballads to the children, even like a mother wild rock. King her baby's cradle, the sea plays with children in the pale gleams, the smile of the sea beach. On the seashore of the endless world, children meet, tempest roams in the pathless sky. Ships are wrecked in the trackless port, and death is abroad, and the children play on the seashore and endless world in the great meetings of children. The hero. Mother, let us imagine we are traveling and passing through a strange and dangerous country. You are riding in a palanquin and I am trotting by you in a red horse. It is evening and the sun goes down, and the west of the Joragedi lies wan and grey before us. The land is desolate and barren. You are frightened and thinking, I know not where you may have come to. I say to you, mother, do not be afraid. The meadow is pricky, with spiky grass, and through it runs a narrow broken path. There is no cattle to be seen in the wide field. They have gone to their village stalls. It grows dark and dim on the land and the sky, and we cannot tell where we are going. Suddenly you call me and ask me in a whisper, what light is that near the bank? Just then there bursts out a fearful yell and figures come running towards us. You sit crouched in a palanquin and repeat the names of the gods in prayer. The bearers, shaking in terror, hide themselves in the thorny bush. I shout to you, don't be afraid, mother, I'm here. With long skirts in your hand, sticks in your hand and hair, all wild about their head. They come nearer and nearer. I shout, have a care. You villains, one step more and you're a dead man. They give another terrible yell and rush forward. You clutch my hand and say, dear boy, for heaven's sake, keep away from them. Mother, just you watch me, I say. Then I spur my horse on a wild gallop, and my sword and a buckler clash against each other. The fight becomes so fearful, mother, that it would give you a cold shudder. Could you see it from your palanquin? Many of them fly, and a great number are cut to pieces. I know you're thinking, sitting all by yourself, that your boy must be dead by this time. But I come to you all stained with blood and say, mother, the fight is over now. You come out and kiss me, pressing me to your heart, and you say to yourself, I don't know what I should do if I had my boy escort me. 1,000 useless things happen day after day, and why couldn't such a thing come true by chance? It would be like a story in a book. My brother would say, is it possible? I always thought he was so delicate. Our village people would say in amazement, was it not lucky that the boy was with the mother? Aha, so sweet, la la la. The land of the exile. Mother, the light has grown grey in the sky. I do not know what the time is. There is no fun in my play, so I have come to you. It is Saturday, our holiday. Leave off your work, mother. Sit here by the window and tell me where the desert of the Tepenta in the fairy tale is. The shadow of the rains has covered the day from end to end. The fierce lightning is scratching the sky with its nails. When the clouds rumble and it's thunder, I love to be afraid in my heart and cling to you. When the heavy rain patters for hours on the bamboo trees and our windows shake and rattle with the gusts of the wind, I like to sit alone in the room, mother, with you and hear you talk about the desert of Tepenter in the fairy tale. Where is it, mother? On the shore of the what sea, or at the foot of what hills, in the kingdom of what king? There are no hedges there to mark the fields, no footpath across by which the villagers reach their village in the evening, or the woman who gathers dry sticks in the forest can bring her load to the market. But patches of yellow grass in the sand and only one tree where the pair of the wise old birds have their nest lies the desert of Tepenter. I can imagine now how on just such a cloudy day the young son of the king is riding alone on the grey horse through the desert in search of the princess who lies imprisoned in the giant palace across this unknown water. When the hiss of the rain comes down in the distant sky and the light starts up like a sudden of a fit of pain, does he remember his unhappy mother abandoned by the king, sweeping the cause stall and wiping her eyes while he rides through the desert in the Templeton, the fairy tale? See, mother, it is almost dark before the day is over, and there are no travellers yonder on the village road. The shepherd boy has gone home early from the pasture, and the men have left their fields to sit on mats under the eaves of their huts watching the scowling clouds. Mother, I have left all my books on the shelf. Do not ask me to do my lessons now. When I grow up and I am big, I like my father, I shall learn all that must be to learn. But just for today, tell me, mother, where the desert of Tepenter in the fairy tale? Wow. The further bank. I long to go over there to the further bank of the river, where those boats are tied to the bamboo poles in a line, where men come across in their boats in the morning with plows on the shoulder to till their faraway fields, where the cowherds make their lowing cattle swim across to the riverside pasture. Whence they all come back home in the evening and leaving the jackals to howl in the island overgrown with weeds. Mother, if you don't mind, I should like to become the boatman of the ferry when I am grown man. They say there are strange pools hidden behind the high bank, where flocks of wild duck come when the rain are over and thick reeds grow round the margins, where water birds lay their eggs, where spines with their dancing tails stamp with their tiny footprints upon the clean soft mud, where in the evening the tall grass is crested with wild flowers, and why the moonbeam float upon the waves. Mother, if you don't mind, I should like to become the boatman of the ferry boat when I'm grown up. I shall cross and cross bank from bank and to bank, and all the boys and the girls of the village will wonder at me while they are parting. When the sun climbs the mid-sky and the morning wears dawn to the noon, I shall come running to you saying, Mother, I'm hungry. When the day is done and the shadows cover under the trees, I shall come back in the dusk. I shall never go away from you into the town to work like father. Mother, if you don't mind, I should like to become the boatman of the ferry boat where I am grown up. Unheeded pigeons. Who was it that colored that little frock, my child, and covered your sweet limbs with that little red tunic? You have come out in the morning to play in the courtyard, tottering and tumbling as you run. But who was it that colored that little frock, my child? Was it that make you laugh, my little life bud? Mother smiles at you standing on the threshold. She claps her hands and her bracelets twinkle, and you dance with your bamboo sticks in your hand like a tiny little shaper. But what is it makes you laugh, my little life bird? Oh, Baker, what do you wait for? Clinging to your mother's neck with both your hands. Oh, greedy heart, shall I pluck the world like a fruit from the sky to place it on your little rosy palm? Oh, Baker, what are you begging for? The wind carries away in glee the tinkling of your anklet bell. The sun smiles and watches your toilet. The sky watches over you when you sleep in your mother's arms, and the morning comes, tiptoe in your bed and kisses your eyes. The wind carried away in glee the tinkling of your anklet bells. The fairy mistress of the dreams is coming towards you, flying through the twilight sky. The world mother keeps her seat by you in your mother's heart. He who plays his music to the stars is standing at your window with his flute, and the fairy mistress of dreams is coming towards you, flying through the twilight sky. The little big man. I'm small because I'm a little child. I shall be big, but when I'm as old as my father is, my teacher will come and say, "It is late, bring your slate and your books." I shall tell him, "Do you not know I am as big as father, and I must not have lessons anymore?" My master will wonder and say, "He can leave his books if he likes, for he's a grown man." I shall dress myself and walk to the fair where the crowd is thick. My uncle will come rushing to me and say, "You will get lost, my boy, let me carry you." I shall answer, "Can't you see, uncle, I'm as big as my father. I must go to the fair alone." Uncle will say, "Yes, he can go wherever he likes, for he's a grown man." Mother will come from her bath when I am giving money to my nurse, or for I shall now have to open the box with my key. Mother will say, "What are you about, naughty child?" I shall tell her, "Mother, don't you know I'm as big as father, and I must give her silver to my purse?" Mother will say to herself, "He can give money to whom he likes, for he is a grown man." In the holiday time in October, father will come home and, thinking that I'm still a baby, will bring for me from the town the little shoes and the small silken frocks. I shall say, "Father, give them to my dada, for I'm as big as you are." Father will think and say, "He can buy his own clothes if he likes, for he's a grown man." Clouds and waves. Mother, the folks who live in the clouds call out to me. We play from the time we wake till the day ends. We play with the golden dawns. We play with the silver moon. I ask, "But how am I to get up to you?" Come to the edge of the earth, lift up your hands to the sky, and you will be taken up into the clouds. My mother is waiting for me at home. I say, "How can I leave her and come?" They smile and float away. But I know a nicer game than that, mother. I shall be the cloud and you the moon. I shall cover you with both my hands, and our house top will be the blue sky. The folks will live in the waves call out to me. We sing from morning till night, on and on we travel, and know not where we pass. I ask, "But how am I to join you?" They tell me, "Come to the edge of the shore and stand with your eyes tight shut, and you will be carried out upon the waves." I say, "My mother always wants me at home in the evening. How can I leave her and go?" They smile and dance and pass by. But I know a better game than that. I will be the waves, and you will be the strange shore. I shall roll on and on and on, and break upon your lap with laughter, and no one in the world will know where we both are. Fairyland. If people came to me where my king's palace is, it would vanish into the air. The walls are of white silver and the roof of shining gold. The queen lives in the palace with 7 courtiers, and she wears a jewel that cost all the wealth of the 7 kingdoms. But let me tell you, mother, in a whisper where my king's palace is, it is at the corner of our terrace where the pot of the tulsi plant stands. The princess flies sleeping on the faraway shore of the 7 impassable seas. There is none in the world who can find her but myself. She has bracelets on her arms and pearls drops in her ears. Her hair sweeps down upon the floor. She will wake when I touch her with my magic wand, and the jewels will fall from her lips when she smiles. But let me whisper in your ear, mother. She is there in the corner of our terrace where the pot of the tulsi plant stands. When it is time for you to go to the river for your bath, step up to the terrace of the roof. I sit in the corner where the shadow of the walls meet together. Only persons allowed to come with me, for she knows where the barber in the story lives. But let me whisper, mother, in your ear where the barber in the story lives. It is at the corner of the terrace where the pot of the tulsi plant stands. Wow, so pretty. The wicked postman. Why do you sit there on the floor, so quiet and silent? Tell me, mother dear. The rain is coming in through the open window, making you all wait, and you don't mind it? Do you hear the gong striking 4? It is time for my mother to come home from school. Who has happened to you? What, you look so strange? Haven't you got a letter from father today? I saw a postman bringing a letter in his bag for almost everybody in the town. Only father's letter he keeps to read himself. I am sure the postman is a wicked man. But don't be unhappy about that, mother dear. Tomorrow in the market day in the next village, you ask your maid to buy some pens and papers. I myself will write you all father's letters. You will not find a single mistake. I shall write from A right up to K. But mother, why do you smile? You don't believe that I can write as nicely as father does? But I shall rule my paper carefully and write all the letters beautifully big. When I finish my writing, do you think I shall be so foolish as father and drop it into the hall postman's bag? I shall bring it to you myself without waiting and letter by letter help you to read my writing. I know the postman does not like to give you really nice letters. Authorship. You say that father writes a lot of books, but what he writes I don't understand. He was reading to you all evening, but could you really make out what he meant? What nice stories, mothers, you can tell us. Why can't father write like that, I wonder? Did he never hear from his own mother stories of giants and fairies and princesses? Has he forgotten them all? Often, when he gets late from his bath, you have to call him 100 times. You wait and keep his dishes warm for him, but he goes on writing and he forgets. Father always plays by at making books. If I ever go to play in father's room, you come and call me. What a naughty child. If I make a slightest noise, you say, don't you see that the father is at his work? What's the fun of always writing and writing? When I take a father's pen and pencil and write down upon his work, just as he does A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, why do you get cross with me then, mother? You never say a word when father writes. When my father watches such heaps of paper, mother, you don't seem to mind at all. But if I take only one sheet of paper to make a boat, you say, child, how troublesome you are. What do you think of father spoiling sheets and sheets of paper with black marks all over both sides? It's funny. Baby's way. If baby only wanted to, he could fly up to heaven this moment. It is not for nothing that he does not leave us. He loves to rest his head on mother's bosom and cannot ever bear to lose sight of her. Baby know all manner of wise words, though few on earth can understand their meaning. It is not for nothing that he never wants to speak. The one thing he wants is to learn the mother's words from mother's lips. That is why he looks so innocent. Baby had a heap of gold and pearls, yet he came like a beggar on this earth. It is not for nothing he came in such a disguise. This dear little naked mendicant pretends to be utterly helpless so that he may beg for mother's wealth of love. Baby was so free from every tie in the land of the tiny chrysanthemum. It was not for nothing he gave up his freedom. He knows that there is room for endless joy in mother's little corner of her heart, and it is sweeter far than liberty to be caught and pressed in her dear arms. Baby never knew how to cry. He dwelt in the land of perfect bliss. It is not for nothing he has chosen to shed tears. Though with a smile of his dear face he draws mother's yearning heart to him, yet this little cries over tiny troubles weave the double bond of pity and love. Oh, fireflies! My fancies are fireflies, specks of living light twinkling in the dark. He voice of wayside fancies, but do not attract the careless glance, murmurs in these desultory lines. In the drowsy, dark caves of the mind, dreams built a nest with fragments dropped from day's caravan. Spring scatters the petals of flowers. They are not for the fruits of the future, but for the moment's whim. Joy, free from the bond of the earth's slumber, rushes into numberless leaves and dances in the air for a day. My words that are slight, my lightly dance upon time's waves, when my work heavy with import have gone down. Mind's underground moths grow filmy wings and take a private flight in the sunset sky. The butterfly counts not months but moments and has time enough. My thoughts like a spark ride on winged surprises, carrying a single laughter. The tree gazes in love at its own beautiful shadow, which yet it never can grasp. Let my love like sunlight surround you and yet give you illumined freedom. Days are colored bubbles that float upon the surface of the fathomless night. My offerings are too timid to claim your remembrance, and therefore you may remember them. Leave out my name from the gift if it be a burden, but keep my song. April like a child writes hieroglyphs on the dust with flowers, wipes them away and forgets. Memory, the priestess, kills the present and offers his heart to the shrine of the dead past. From the solemn gloom of the temple, children run out to sit in the dust. God watches them play and forgets the priest. My mind starts up at some flash, and the flow of his thoughts like a broke of a sudden liquid note of its own that is never repeated. And the mountain stillness surges up to explore his own delight. In the lake, movement stands still to contemplate its own depth. The departing night's one kiss on the closed eyes of the morning glows in the stars of dawn. Made it that beauty is like a fruit which is yet to mature, dense with an unyielding secret. Sorrow that has lots of memories like a dumb dark hours that have no bird songs but only the cricket chirp. Bigotry tries to keep truth safe in its hand with a grip that kills it, wishing to hurt in a timid lamp, great night lights all her stars. Though he holds in his arms the earth bright, the sky is ever immensely away. God seeks competence and claims love, the devil seeks slaves and claims obedience. The soil, in return for her service, keeps the tree tied to her. The sky asks nothing and leaves it free. Jewel, like immortal, does not boast of its length of years, but of the scintillating point of its moment. The child ever dwells in the mystery of the ageless time, unobscured by the dust of history. A light laughter in the stems of creation carries it swiftly across time. One who was distant from near to me in the morning and still nearer when taken away by night. White and pink oleanders meet and make a merry in different dialects. When peace is active, sweeping its dirt, it is storm. The lake lies low by the hill, a tearful entreaty of love at the foot of the inflexible. There smiles the divine child among the playthings of unmeaning cloud and ephemeral lights and shadows. The breeze whispers to the lotus, why is thy sacred? It is myself, it's the lotus, steal it and I disappear. The freedom of the storm and the bondage of the stem join hands in the dance of the swaying branches. The jasmine's lisping of love to the sun of is her flowers. The tyrant claims freedom to kill freedom and yet to keep it for himself. God, tired of their paradise, envy man. Clouds are hills in vapor, hills are clouds in stone, the fantasy in time stream. While God waits for his temple to be built of love, man brings a stone. I touch God in my song and the hill touches the faraway sea with his waterfall. Light finds her treasure of colors through the antagonism of clouds. My heart today smiles in the past night of tears, like a big tree glistening in the sun after the rain is over. I have thanked the trees that have made my life fruitful, but have failed to remember the grass that has ever kept it green. The one whose second is emptiness, the other one makes it true. Life's errors cry for the merciful beauty that can modulate their isolation into the harmony with the whole. They expect thanks for the banished nest because their cage is shapely and secure. And love I pay my endless debt to thee for what thou art. The pond sends up its lyrics from its dark in lilies, and the sun says, they are good. Your calumny against the great is impious. It hurts yourself; against the small it is mean, for it hurts the victim. The first flower that blossomed on this earth was an invitation to the unborn song. Dawn came upon the colored flower face, and then the simple light fruit, the sun appears. The muscle that has a doubt of if its wisdom throttles a voice that would cry. The wind tries to take the flame of the storm out of the blow it out. Life's play is swift, life's playthings fall behind one by one and are forgotten. My flowers seek not thy paradise in a fool's buttonhole. Thou hast risen late, my crescent moon, but my night bird is still awake to greet thee. Darkness is veiled bright, silently waiting for the errant light to return to her bosom. Trees are the earth's endless effort to speak to the listening heaven. The burden of the self is lightened when I laugh at myself. The weak can be terrible because they are furiously to appear strong. The wind of heaven blows the anchor, desperately clutches the mud, and my boat is beating its breaths against the chain. The spirit of death is one, the spirit of life is many. Why God is dead, religion becomes one. The blue of the sky longs for the earth and green. The wind between them sighs, alas. Day's pain muffled by its own glare. Birds among stars in the night. The stars crowd round the virgin night in silent awe at her loneliness that can never be touched. The cloud gives all its gold to the departing sun and greets the rising moon with only a pale smile. He who does good comes to the temple gate. He who loves reaches the shrine. Flower, have pity for the worm. It is not a bee. Its love is a blunder and a burden. With the dreams of the taters triumph, children build your doll's house. The lamp waits through the long day of neglect for the flame's kiss in the night. Feathers In the dust, lying lazily content, have forgotten the sky. The flowers which are single need not invade the thorns that are numerous. The world suffers most from the disinterested tyranny of the well-wisher. We gain freedom when we have paid the full price for our right to live. Your careless gifts for a moment, like the meteors of the autumn night, catch fire in the depth of my being. The fate waiting in the heart of the sea promises a miracle of life which it cannot prove at once. A spring hesitates at winter door, but the mango blossom freshly runs over to him before her time and meets her doom. The world is the ever-changing foam that floats on the surface of the sea of silence. The two separated shores mingle their voices in a song of the unfathomed tears. As a river in the sea, work finds its fulfillment in the depth of leisure. I lingered on my way till the cherry tree lost its blossom, but the azalea brings to me, my love, thy forgiveness. Thy shy little pomegranate bud, blushing the day behind her wheel, will burst into a passionate flower tomorrow when I am away. The clumsiness of power spoils the key and uses the pickaxe. Birth is from the mystery of night into the greater mystery of day. These paper boats of mine are meant to dance on the ripples of our and not to reach the destination. My migratory songs wing from my heart and seek tenderness in your voice of love. The sea of danger, doubt, and denial around man's little island of certainties challenge him to death unknown. Love punishes when it forgives an uninjured beauty by its awful silence. You live alone and unrecompensed because they are afraid of your great worth. The same sun is newly born in new lands in the ring of endless dawns. God is the world is ever renewed by death, a titan ever crushed by its own existence. The glowworm, while exploring the dust, never knows that stars are in the sky. The tree is off today. The flower is all it brings with is the message of the immemorial seed. Each rose that comes brings me greetings from the rose of an eternal spring. God honors me when I work and He loves me when I sing. My love of today finds no home in the nest deserted by yesterday's love. Wow, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.